Hey everyone, it's Dora from flippinghouses.and-pancakes.com, and today I thought I'd talk really briefly about the different customs for Ashkenazim and Sephardim when it comes to the holiday of Shavuos. All right, the reason that this video is going to be a little shorter than usual is that there simply are not a lot of customs when it comes to food for the holiday of Shavuos. And I know you're thinking, what? There's got to be tons of customs. Everybody talks about Shavuos food, and that's because of one specific custom. Now, the holiday of Shavuos is celebrating when the Jewish people received the Torah on Har Sinai. And we received the Torah and we got all the laws, and it turns out we didn't actually know how to implement all of them immediately. For example, we didn't know how to we learned that you have to slaughter animals for food in a very specific manner, and you have to kosher them in a very specific manner, koshering your meat and chicken. And while we knew that that was the law, we didn't know how to do it yet, and therefore did the simplest thing that we could think of, which was eat dairy food, because that was a lot less complicated. Didn't have to do anything, just milk the cow. So it became a custom that to remember that we eat dairy on Shavuos. Now, normally for a holiday meal, we would eat fleischiks, we would eat meat or chicken, we would eat those types of foods because they're considered celebratory and fancier, and dairy dishes tend to be considered a little more mundane or weekday. But for Shavuos, there is a custom to eat dairy food. Now, the only slight difference that I've discovered or that I've encountered over the last 20-something years between Ashkenazi and Sephardi meals and food on Shavuos is simply that Sephardim are more likely to eat mostly fleischiks still, mostly will eat meat or chicken, but might have one dairy meal or a meal that's just like fish, like a nice salmon or something like that. Or might just have a little bit of dairy to start off a meal and then move on to a fleishik meal, move on to the meat or the chicken, because it still is considered a holiday meal, so they want to have that sort of celebratory fleishik meat food. Ashkenazim, on the other hand, are very happy to go all in on dairy. So in a lot of households, you'll see even all the meals will be entirely in dairy. When I was growing up, we ate only dairy on Shavuos, even all the meals, completely dairy or fish, and we didn't eat any meat or chicken. And it's pretty much the only difference. But again, a lot of Ashkenazi families will eat dairy and then switch over to meat, just like the Sephardi families. And some Sephardi families won't eat any dairy, except for maybe a little slice of cheesecake or something early on. But so there's not a lot of difference. We actually have a lot of similarities in the food for Shavuos. Some of the fun foods that we eat on Shavuos, I think that's where it gets exciting and fun for people who are planning their Shavuos meals, is that on Shavuos we get to make all those things that we love eating, but they're dairy, that we never eat on a Yom Tov. We never eat on a holiday. We make eggplant parmesan or lasagna or big ziti, or people get very fancy and make all kinds of delicious foods that are dairy based. And of course, the pièce de résistance, right? The ultimate is the dessert. And that's where we really enjoy ourselves and make cheesecake. Because can you think of a more decadent, a more elevated dessert dish than a really good cheesecake? So cheesecake has become kind of the quintessential food of Shavuos. I know I make cheesecake, but in addition to making my dairy cheesecakes, because we do also eat the meat dishes and meat meals, I also make parve cheesecakes using things like tafudi, non-dairy cream cheese, and we still get that kind of cheesecake feeling even if it's not cheesecake, not real cheesecake that we're eating. So that's pretty much, there's not really much other food custom when it comes to Shavuos, which is why I said this would be a very short video. Essentially, we eat cheesecake. We eat cheesecake. And if you like cheesecake, there's several recipes for it in my cookbook, Flipping Houses and Pancakes, Kosher Recipes and Kitchen Design Tips from an Amateur Professional. And there's also some recipes on my blog. If you look at my website, flippinghouseandpancakes.com, you can find those recipes there. So if you did enjoy this short video, hopefully I'll make a longer video for the next holiday. If you did enjoy this video, please hit like, subscribe to my channel, click the bell for notifications so you find out every time I upload a new video. And of course, check out that website, flippinghouseandpancakes.com, where you can both order my cookbook to get those cheesecake recipes, and you can check out my blog for the recipes there.